Feels good. You know, if you're going to, I can speak for 20 or 30 minutes without notes, but if you're going to speak for 5 minutes, you better have notes so you can say what you want to say. So first of all, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for both your attendance here and for your warm reception on my recognition and my induction. As was mentioned that I played in the national championships of 6 sports. 3 of those were here in Manitoba before I was the age of 20, handball, baseball, and of course football. 3 were in my home province now of BC. I live in Abbotsford, BC. Racquetball in my 30s, master slow pitch in my 40s, and senior golf in my 50s. The common thread to these, some degree of God-given talent, a deep desire to compete and be the best that I could be, and a genuine love for anything to do with sports. Now, given the time restraints I'm under, I'll only be able to comment on my 3 Manitoba-related experiences. I played handball here in Winnipeg at the University of Manitoba against my teammates from the Bisons and other students. Plenty of knockdown dragouts against my own doubles partner, best man at my wedding, Dennis Risaiko. And I was fortunate enough to beat Merv in the Merv Deckert, who went on to be the best in the world in the junior championship here and went to Vancouver to represent the province. And I like to remind Merv that the last time we played, I won. I didn't win in Vancouver. I lost my first match to the eventual winner, and I won the consolation draw. When it comes to baseball, I grew up listening to the radio and catching the odd black and white broadcasts in the air of the New York Yankees World Series matches against the Milwaukee Brewers. Names like Mantle and Maris, Yogi Berra and Whitey Ford, facing the likes of Hammer and Hank Aaron and Eddie Matthews, Red Schoendienst and Warren Spahn. These all stirred my imagination and drove me to dream of being a professional baseball player one day. Of course, that would never happen. But I did become a pretty good shortstop on the fields of first St. Joseph's Catholic School, then CUAC, and then Legion 141, and was fortunate enough to be picked up by the Carmen Goldeyes for that championship in 1970. We didn't win that year, but I thoroughly enjoyed my time with Bob Billing and his family, and amongst many guys that I played against for several years. Which brings me to football, a game that I love and one that captured my imagination, starting with the 1957 to 62 Bombers and their dynasty and their rivalry with Edmonton's Parker, Kwong, Bright, and Miles. For the Bombers, it was Kenny Payne throwing to Farrell Funston and Ernie Pitts, and a little bit later to Dr. Ken Nielsen, that inspired me to want to be a quarterback or receiver and fueled my desire to perhaps one day be a Bomber myself. As you heard, I'm being inducted as an all-around athlete, but let's get serious. I would not be here if it were not for the 1969 and 1970 Bison's National Championships. Those teams, inducted into this hall in 1998, changed my life. My 4 coaches, Dr. Henry Jansen, Ray Ash, John Shansky, and Gordy Rowland, were all former Bombers from the era I mentioned earlier. They, along with my teammates, had an indelible impact on my life, and I thank them all. As the quarterback of 2 national championships, I got a lot of attention and publicity, probably more than I deserved. I'm a firm believer that all quarterbacks usually get more praise for wins than they deserve and more blame for losses than they deserve. And the reason is football is without doubt the ultimate team sport. To illustrate my point, just think with me, for example, about what it takes to complete a forward pass. First, the quarterback needs to receive the ball properly from his center. So thanks, Bo Keating. He also needs an offensive line to protect him and give him time to throw. So thanks, Al Kinley and all of the O-line who did that for me. He needs running backs and receivers to either block, run fakes, or run pass patterns that make the play successful, and of course, to catch the ball and advance the yardsticks. So thanks, Denny Risaiko, Graham Kinley, Mike Shiloh, and Bob Toogood. And to my receivers, Robin Wright, Ian McLeod, Lou Ferlin, and many others, thanks so much. And think about this. Football is the ultimate team game because as a quarterback, half of the time you're on the sidelines, with the fate of the game in the hands of your defensive squad. So thanks, Gil Bramwell and Wayne Hildahl and all the others who did their job so effectively. In closing, I'd like to congratulate all my fellow inductees. I would like to thank all the members of the Hall of Fame Board of Directors for selecting me, and I would like to thank God for his many blessings on my life. It has not been a charmed life. There have been many challenges and hurdles to overcome, but I've been blessed in so many ways. Not the least of which is my family, the family I grew up with on Inkster Boulevard. My dad, who passed away more than 5 years ago now. Thanks, Dad. My 87-year-old mom, sharp as a tack still, here tonight. Thanks, Mom. Both of them made tremendous sacrifices and showed their support through my formative years, not only for me, but also for my 8 siblings. That's right, I was the oldest of 9, 6 brothers and 2 sisters, many of them here tonight, and I have great love for all of my siblings and their families and their extended family, and I thank you all for being here tonight and for your support. And to my precious and beautiful wife, Beverly, my partner for more than 46 years, our 2 sons, Rob and Dan, and our 7, soon to be 8, grandchildren, thank you for the love you show me every day and the joy and strength you bring to my life. I love you all. Finally, to put my own spin on a well-worn and familiar phrase, you can take the boy out of the north end of Winnipeg, but you can't take the north end of Winnipeg out of the boy. So I want to leave you with 2 very appropriate words. Go Bombers.